thanks so much for joining me. Today we were talking about the only 10 items worth purchasing at the Sephora sale. So I am calling this the only 10 because these are things I go through all the way. So to me, they are worth it because I definitely don't want to have a lot of makeup that I am not using. Now, I do receive a lot of makeup. I purchase a lot of makeup, but these really are the items that get the most use, and I repurchase them over and over. I will be repurchasing some of these myself during the sale because they are daily staples for me. Starting with number one, this is probably the most emblematic item of this entire look. So if you like this aesthetic, you're gonna like all of these other products because I like a very no makeup makeup. It almost looks like I didn't apply makeup today, but indeed did apply makeup. We have a get ready with me coming up. I do have lots of SPF on my face, which is very important to me. But let's talk about this. So this eye palette is by Prada. It is very minimal and it's a pretty palette. There's nothing really shimmery in here. There's a slight glow. I'm gonna swatch it for you. This palette is in the shade 7. And I think it's so interesting because I did try a Prada palette when they first launched them and I had a hard time figuring out what to do with the shades. They weren't as intuitive. They were a little bit editorial, and this one is the exact opposite. This is like a barely there kind of shadow, but you definitely see the effect. I love that. I love makeup where you can see the effect, but you can't actually see the makeup on the skin. We'll get into the SPF makeup in a little bit here, but this is the swatch of it. So it's very, very subtle, but it's lovely. It's very effortless. It's very elegant on the skin. It's polished as well. So you can definitely take this into evening. I just did a really quick daytime look here, again, because of all the SPF. So here is a swatch of it. Hopefully you can see it a little bit. It is very subtle, but you'll see the difference when I do the get ready with me. I don't think this palette is for everyone. If someone loves really bold makeup, this is not the palette for that person, but it's definitely the palette for me, and I use this all the time. So that is really pretty. I haven't seen another eyeshadow palette. Like, I love Clé de Peau. If you haven't been here before, Clé de Peau, Chanel, I have a lot of that. Hermes palettes, I have all of those as well. So I don't even know if any of those have that. Maybe Clé de Peau might have something close to it, but this is even more subtle than that kind of glow if you're familiar with that. So love that palette. Now, the face, I don't have any foundation on, and I love that. I don't love foundation. There are a few foundations I'm really enjoying. The one by Hermes, if you'd like to see that video, as well as Chantecaille's Future Skin in the gel. Those are lovely. So if you know that aesthetic, then you can see why I don't really love foundation. I don't love feeling it. I don't love seeing it on the face. I love, again, seeing the results though. So we do have some SPF products on the skin. I have, actually, I think I have all of these on my skin. There's a Mineral GlowScreen by Supergoop, and they have 3 shades: Sunrise, Golden Hour, and Sunset. Recently, hopefully you can see that, recently expanded this range. So there are different shades now, which I think is so great. So I'll swatch those for you. They also have the Mattescreen sunscreen, which we will talk about in a moment. And I'm so glad I had a chance to try all of these because I wasn't actually familiar with the Mineral GlowScreen until recently, until they had gifted me this new shade range to try, because I'd been using the Mattescreen and purchased many of those myself as well. So here are the shades: Sunrise, Golden Hour, and Sunset, in this order: Sunrise, Golden Hour, Sunset. I think the website says they aren't really specific to skin types, or maybe they do, but I'm gonna say that one's more geared to more normal to dry skin types. It's got a hydrating aspect to it, definitely has a glow to it. For more oily skin types, or especially me in the summer, oh, I have combo skin. So I have oily, especially in the summer, but not super oily in the winter, in the center, normal on the outside, exterior, and those can be either worse or better depending on the climate or the temperature. So I do like to kind of control the oil in the middle. So this is great for the center of my face. So I will actually apply this to the center of my face. The lightest colors actually work the best for me. Even Golden Hour, the middle shade there with the warmth, will add color to my face. Actually, I have it on my chin now, this one. So this is a Mattescreen sunscreen. Packaging is the same. It just has a different, you can see the different colors on there. Oh, hopefully that's focusing. I cannot tell. And then we have here the original, Golden Hour, and Sunset. So cooler toned here, warmer toned here, more medium. Really lovely product. So ideally I'll add the matte to the middle the lighter shade, and then the exterior I put the Golden Hour Glow. But like I said, on the Get Ready With Me, you'll see all of them on my skin, and they do mesh nicely with the skin, so they don't add too much color. But if you are lighter than the shade, it's definitely gonna add color. So try and find something that's close to your skin tone. And I am BD41 in Chanel, if you know that shade match. So I do lean warmer, but I also have some neutral tones as well. So warm and cool work on me. That is the SPF. Now, speaking of SPF, we've got a lot of SPF products in here. And this is why I think this is a great time to focus on these products, because I only see this brand really on Sephora and maybe their own site. So let me know if you can find it anywhere else, but Ciele products. So I have been looking for SPF makeup for a long time. I've tried other lines that offer SPF makeup, but it usually looks like SPF with makeup. It doesn't ever look like maybe it doesn't have SPF in it. It's more apparent on the skin. So if you've used SPF products, it's usually heavier. It's not as finely milled, and I'm sure it has something to do with the properties of what needs to be in the product in order to provide SPF. Now this concealer, this also has some brightening aspects to it. So this is in 08P, the concealer by Ciele. It's this shade right here. It's the one that has the most peach in it in this range, not in this range, in this part of the range, like a more medium tone, and I like that for dark spots. So I used it on my dark spots today. So we've got that on. Also some broken capillaries and a couple of dark spots right there. So I blended that in. And then on top of that, I went actually in a little bit of a different order. So I like this highlighter. I don't like the lighter highlighter. Really sad on my skin, but this shade Penny by Ciele is beautiful. So this acts as a little bit of like reminds you of Hourglass products in a more liquid form. It's that kind of a soft glow, like a dim light. It kind of reminds me of that, but in liquid form. If you're familiar with that, I love that product, by the way. That is another one that actually could have been in this video. But this is the shade Penny, so it's almost my skin tone. In the Get Ready With Me, I will show you what it looks like without blush, because I think it's a beautiful look if you want just a like a put together look, but not like you put makeup on, but just bring about the bone structure. This is really beautiful product for that. So I put that on top of the concealer. It's really pretty. And then on top of that, I used my favorite colors. I believe I've used all of the more pinky shades by Ciele in the blush formula, the liquid blush, and Behati is my favorite shade. And you'll see why. It's very subtle here. So I've got that on as well. And I'm showing you that over the highlighter. I think it works best that way, because that way the highlighter is not so highlightery, because there's still the potential to bring about texture with any kind of highlighter product. And then I also, so that's Behati, I also went in with their powder blush. Now I rarely hit pan, and you can see, well, actually these I hit pan, I don't know if you call it hit pan, but they're empty. I have many empties of these. I repurchased those quite a bit. And so the Ciele blush, this is in the shade Cozy. I've used that quite a bit. I kind of use it as a setting powder, and you'll see why. It's got a slight peachiness to it. It's like a very soft. So it reminds you of Poudre, the number 9 in the Valentino blush, which I'm not quite sure what happened to that. It reminds me, it doesn't have the same sophistication in its glow, but it does a really nice job. Just be careful not to add too much, or it can look a little bit cakey, because it is, again, SPF powder product. But if you go in with a nice light dusting, I have it on here, I kind of set with that. That's the only powder product I put on my face, I think, yes, on my face. So here is the shade Cozy. So here are all of the Ciele shades. We've got 08P concealer, Penny the highlighter, Behati the blush, and then Cozy the powder blush. So all of that SPF is on my face. Let me just check. I wrote a little list here to make sure I talk about everything. So let me see what I forgot to talk about. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to get one out of my empties, because I know I have so many of them. But let's talk about this first. So my hair, I did my hair with the Dyson. I have been using it over and over. I've had a chance to try other products similar to this. I've had a chance to try the, oh, actually I have the Dyson Air Straight as well that I actually forgot that I had until now. But this is the one I use the most. I travel with it. It gives me these loose waves. What I love is that it smooths out my hair, because when it dries naturally, it can get a little bit frizzy. So I can let it dry naturally and then dampen it and then go in with this and get some nice loose waves. In fact, this hair I washed last night. I had it in a little bit of a, just like twisted up in a little bun, and I think I did, yeah, I did the video with it still twisted up in the bun, and then after I did most of my makeup, I brushed it through, ran this Dyson through it. It just has amazing results. Hair looks healthier. You get a little bit of a wave here. It's not super curly unless I have a shorter length of hair, but right here like this, I love these bouncy waves. They're really natural. They look effortless. I love that. And then going in with the only hairspray I've been using for many, many years is the Oribe Superfine Hairspray. I just did a light misting of it, and even with this, so I just need to be careful not to add too much. My hair gets weighed down and a little bit sticky with hairspray. And so for a softer hold, I like this, and it doesn't have that stickiness to it. It doesn't have that like crunchiness to it. It has movement. It also has that signature Oribe smell. It's really lovely. I love the way this smells. So that is something that I buy over and over again. Speaking of that, I also buy these over and over again. These are the cotton squares by Shiseido. I love them for toner. I love them to remove nail polish. I stock up on these every time. I don't think there's been a Sephora sale where I haven't purchased them. So definitely something to add to the cart. So the things that oh wait, let me grab the last thing here. If you have been here before, you know that I receive a lot of PR from L'Occitane. I think most of their launches now I'm lucky enough to receive. I love a lot of their products, but this is the one that I love the most. This is the hand cream that they have, and it's a travel size. And the reason I love this maybe more than any other hand cream, because some hand creams, like I love the Chanel hand cream, but sometimes it's harder to get the product out because of the way the packaging is structured. This, you can go all the way through the product, and this is not a twist top. Now, there are other creams, even in the size, they don't all have this flip top. Some of them still have the twist off top. The twist off top, I generally lose them. So anything with a flip top like this is really nice. And this is a kind of product that I will sometimes have two in my bag, because usually if I take this out and I offer it to someone who's with me and they really like it, then I'll just give them one, because that's how much other people like it too. So it's a really nice emollient hand cream. It sinks into the skin. It's not greasy, and it lasts a little bit longer than some of the other hand creams that can feel really nice going on, but then, you know, 10 minutes later, your hands still feel dry. This doesn't do that. The moisture, the hydration remains for a nice amount of time. So that is one that I'm definitely stocking up on, even though they continue to send me PR and products. I think I've received a few more of these as well. I still need more, so I'm definitely stocking up at the Sephora sale. And then let me just show you. That is, in case you did not catch which one this is, it's this one right here. Lovely. But if you want to see this look, I know it doesn't look like I did much of anything, but if you want to look just effortless, pulled together, and enough, just enough makeup just to look like you put a little effort into it. And of course you can add color, more color if you want, and get protection from the sun. SPF is very important to me. I still need to do the video on hyperpigmentation. I'm going to try a little, I don't do med spa type things or even dermatologist type treatments to my skin, but I think I'm going to try one. So I do want to do that before I do the video to see if it's effective, and I'll let you know. So make sure to tune into that. Make sure to tune into that in case you're interested in the hyperpigmentation. I do have dark spots here. I covered them up with concealer. They're getting a lot better. But again, as much as I can protect my skin, I will. And that's why you see so much SPF here. And that is why I go through so much SPF, because I use it every single day. So I think that's a really great way to focus my spending at the sale, knowing these are the items that I use all the way up, so I won't be wasting my purchases, because that's one of the biggest regrets of these sales, is when I impulse buy and I buy things I don't use, or I got distracted and thought it just looked nice, but I didn't end up using it. So I hope this information helps because I do have a lot of products. I've tried like way too many products, and these are the ones I am consistently purchasing and repurchasing. And Ciele, I've never received any PR from them. I don't know if they know who I am, but I'm probably one of their biggest customers. I've tried almost all of their products, and these are ones that I am using up that I have purchased myself. Do let us know what you think is worth purchasing at the Sephora sale. I'd love to know what is a great value to you, what you use all the way up. Please leave that in the comment section below. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.